Hello guys, Mr. here today. Today I'll read the patch notes for Year 5 Season 3 on the Division 2. And this will tell you about the guns, the rebalancing and the talents and stuff. So let's get into it. PvE improvements, quality of life updates, scaling open world loot crates with world difficulty. This changes the design to increase the quality of gear and stats it has across the board, especially for challenge and heroic. I've read some of this in my previous video, but there's a lot more details that have been released. Capped SHD watch HP bonus level to 2000 and increased the HP gain. Obviously they changed that because people were abusing the game to get like 700,000 SHD and their health was absolutely absurd, so they couldn't get killed in PvP. Inventory added a new menu called Tinkering, which combines the features of optimization and recalibration. From what I've seen in the PTS so far, it's not added in phase 1. I'm assuming it will be in phase 2, which is January, I believe. Armor kit's ability to instantly use an armor kit to replenish 25% armor, 5-second cooldown, in addition to holding the button to replenish 100%. I've got another video that I'm going to make for that, guys. I've found a way to have infinite medkits, basically. Stay tuned. Gear combat lock. While in combat, players will no longer be allowed to swap individual gear pieces or loadouts. I think that should be included in PvP but not included in PvE, because PvE sometimes you need to swap pieces out. I think that's like not the best of ideas. But what am I? Expertise reduction to make upgrades more accessible. This is the first look at new costs. That's the picture, guys. I've already shown you this. Projects change XP equivalent to 1 level up. New optimization materials cache, challenging bounty, Black Tusk, 1 times crafting blueprint, 1 times equipment item, 1 times SHD calibration. New missions in Pool, Pontomac Event Center, Federal Emergency Bunker, Grand Washington Hotel, Camp White Oak, Jefferson Plaza, DCD headquarters. Daily projects, change, challenging bounty, change XP half the level up, 5 times specialization points, 2 times equipment item. New recalibration cache, new 1 times crafting blueprint. Dark zone and conflict. Conditions, change dark zone. All conditions that require killing agents have been removed, being replaced by PvE oriented ones. Extract items, clear landmarks, etc. Change conflict, removed the win match requirement. Players will now only require to complete matches and kill other players. Also, condition difficulty was lowered overall. Rewards, 1 times SHD calibration, crafting materials, change Dark Zone XP of Dark Zone project, conflict XP of conflict project, 2 times equipment item, previously 1, new 1 times weapon crafting cache. Weekly projects, 5 times SHD calibration, heroic faction bounty, 2 times equipment item, crafting blueprints, 5 times specialization points, change XP equivalent to 1 level up, change heroic bounty all factions. New 1 times named item cache, new 1 times weapons crafting cache. Weekly legendary, 1 exotic cache, 1 optimization cache, 2 recalibration caches, 1 gear crafting cache, SHD requisition, 1 times exotic cache, crafting blueprints, 5 times specialization points, change XP 1 level up, new named item cache. Weekly dark zone and conflict projects, 5 times SHD calibration, Dark Zone XP of Dark Zone, Conflict XP of Conflict, change 2 times equipment item, previously some only awarded 1, new 2 times named item cache, removed recalibration cache. Weekly summit projects, 1 times exotic cache, crafting blueprints, 5 specialization points, 2 times named item cache, previously 1, XP 1 level up, 1 times recalibration cache. Weapon balancing, exotic weapons. All exotic weapons' 3rd attribute will be reconfigurable. That is actually a really good change that they've added. You can only do it to some previous seasonal exotics. Now you can do it to all weapons, like for example the Eagle Bearer. You can change the headshot attribute to like damage to targets out of cover. Right, so these are the balancing and changes for all guns. Assault rifles, ACR, ACR-E, 10% weapon damage, CTAR 21, the rail splitter, plus 10 mag size, F2000, F2000 replica, shield splinterer, 50 RPM, plus 10 mag size. FAL SA58, FAL SA58 para, FAL SA58 para replica, plus 5% weapon damage. Military G36, G36C, G36 enhanced, G36 enhanced replica. Born Great, the named version, plus 50% RPM. Honey Badger, Salvage Wolverine, plus 5 mag. I think they should have added a bit more damage to that, because you have a less mag for that gun. Less attachment for that gun, I mean. MK16, SOCOM MK16, Tactical M16, Tactical M16 replica, plus 10% weapon damage. Military P416, Custom P416 G3, Glory Days, Eagle Bearer, plus 50 RPM. That's all the assault rifles. The submachine guns now, SMGs. AUG A3 Para XS, Enhanced AUG A3P, Tactical AUG A3P, Tactical AUG A3P replica, plus 25 RPM, plus 10% weapon damage. CMMG Banshee, the Grudge, plus 50 RPM, plus 5% weapon damage. And then we have the MP5 ST, MP5 ST replica, MP5A2, MP5-N, Cabaret, plus 6 mag size. I think that should be either way more or some more damage. MP7 swap chain, plus 50% RPM, plus 5% weapon damage. Please T821, Black Market T821, Black Market T821 replica, plus 10% weapon damage. Converted SMG 9, Converted SMG 9A1, Converted SMG 9 replica, plus 50 RPM. M1928 Tommy gun, the Slayer, Grown Great, plus 10% weapon damage. Police UMP45, Tactical UMP45, Tactical UMP45 replica, plus 10% weapon damage. Light machine guns, Iron Known 10% weapon damage. All other LMGs plus 20% weapon damage. That's kind of ridiculous because the blue screen has got a well high base damage. I'll test that and let you know, guys. Rifles ACR SS plus 10% weapon damage. Ruthless Merciless 10% weapon damage. USC 45 ACP, USC 45 ACP replica 10% weapon damage. UIC 15 mods 30% weapon damage. M16A2, M16A2 replica 30% weapon damage. MDR battle rifle replica plus 20% RPM and 10% weapon damage. Resolute MK47 Harmony 20% weapon damage. Military MK17, Police MK17, Police MK17 replica, Everlasting Gaze 25% weapon damage. SIG 716, SIG 716 replica, SIG 716 CQB, Artist Tool, the Ravenous 25% weapon damage. Marksman rifles, M700 Carbon, M700 Carbon replica, M700 Tactical, Model 700, Model 700 replica, EKIM's Long Stick, plus 8% optimal range and 25% weapon damage. I think that should have been accuracy. Accuracy is way better than optimal range. Covert SRS, SRS-A1, SRS-A1 replica, Pinprick Mantis 30% weapon damage. That's a lot of damage. That'll be good for PvP, the Mantis, that. SR1, SR1 replica, Adrestia, SR1 designated hitter 30% weapon damage. Paratrooper SVD, Surplus SVD, Commando Dread Edict 15% weapon damage. Tactical 308 Scalpel plus 8% optimal range plus 20% RPM. 20 plus RPM. Other, the Carbine 7 Stoner LAMG will no longer drop with the preset talent. The preset talent is Overwhelm. Gear balancing, so this is what they're changing. 511, what they're changing on that brand set is they're increasing 10% hazard protection 3-piece to 20%. Badger Tough, they're increasing 3-piece 10% armor on kill to 15% armor on kill. Bellstone, they're increasing the 3rd piece 20% incoming repairs to 40%. Brazos, on the 3rd piece they're increasing 20% mag size to 30% mag size. I think mag size is just stupid. I'll recommend it in the description. There's a YouTuber that's made a recent video about what they should change the brand set to. and I highly agree with him. Gilligard, third piece, 1% armor regen, 3% armor regen. This will be in one of my videos that I'm making about armor regen. Golem gear, they're changing the second and third piece, 1% armor regen to 2%, 5% total armor to 10% total armor. And then you've got a Hasberg Guard, they're changing the third piece, 10% status effects to 20% status effects. Regnbue, they're changing the second and third, 10% skill health to 25% skill health, 15% LMG damage to 20% LMG damage. Usina Getica, they're changing the third piece, 10% hazard protection to 20%, not a big deal, but that's the changes to the brand sets, guys. Some of them I agree with, some of them I disagree with. They should completely change all the brand sets in my opinion to Doddy's recommendation, but obviously they don't listen to us. And then you've got Alp Summit, second and third, they changed to 20% skill duration to 30%, 10% skill haste to 30% stats effects, which is a bit strange. I don't know why they put it to stats effects, because Alp Summit is like repair skills, kind of like a healer kind of brand, kind of weird. China Light, they've changed the second and third, 10% skill haste to 20%, and then 10% stats effects to 20%. Electric, they've changed the third attribute to 10% SMG damage to 20%. Empress International, I don't think they should have changed it at all because it's already like stupidly overpowered. The second piece they changed from 10% skill damage to 20%. Hana Yu, they changed the second and third attribute, 10% skill damage to 20%, 5% weapon damage to 10%. And then you've got Murakami knee pads, 20% skill duration. They changed the second and third, so 20% repair skills to 30%, and then 10% skill damage to 30%. That's quite a lot of damage increase. And then you've got R and K. They changed the second and third, 10% explosive resistance to 25%, and then 20% repair skills to 40%. Wyvern, they've changed the second and third, 10% stats effects to 15% stats effects, and 20% skill duration to 40%. And these are the last ones of the brand sets. Seska, they've changed the third to 10% health to 30% health. Douglas and Hardin, they changed the third attribute to 20% weapon accuracy to 30% weapon accuracy. I personally think they should just completely change them too, to weapon handling, and maybe use something else. Fenris, they've changed the third attribute from 20% weapon stability to 30%. Grupo, they changed explosive damage 15% to 20%. Petrov, they've changed the third attribute 20% ammo capacity to 30% ammo capacity. Overlord Ornaments, they've changed just the third attribute 10% weapon handling to 15%. And then Walker and Harris, they've changed the third 5% damage to health to 10%. Nobody's really going to use that. That's all the brand sets they've changed, guys. In game modes, Descent, load the required heat necessary to reach the Nemesis. This will reduce the minimum loot at which players can encounter Nemesis to 4 and the maximum loot to 9. To kill the Nemesis, really easy, guys. I just recommend getting Foam, 2 skill tiers, and then you can just mow them down really quick. Decrease the reward requirements to Descent by 1 to 5 loops. Players will now receive more loot caches, rewards to completing the same amount of loops as well as before. Added exotic and name caches within the NSA tech store found outside the Descent entrance. The prices are placeholder. That's pretty good. Added talent pool rotations in Descent now are planned to change on a weekly basis. These pools have different thematic and consist of 35 talents and 6 exotic talents. That's a good thing because it would be too diluted, too big the pool if they didn't do that. Other fixed the issue with the summit level 100 XP. Various stability improvements implemented in Countdown, Descent and Summit. So that, guys, is what they've changed in PTS Phase 1, which is actually really good in my opinion. They've added some good features that everybody will like. I disagree with the brand sets, some of them anyway, but that's just me. But that's all the info on the PTS, guys. I hope this helped you. If you're not on PC anyway, on console, because you don't have the PTS on the console. So, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.